or welcome back, as the case may be. I'm Christine E. Schulze, aka the Elvish Author, as I'm known on my other channel. What's happening with my hair? And today we have a lovely guest star with us. This is...
Adam. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. One of my best friends, and also the guy that you've maybe heard me talk about, because he's the one who got me into watching Avatar. So y'all have him to thank for this entire experience, period. So in an intro, I usually kind of go over what happened last time.
Okay.
And so there's so much to talk about because you and I haven't gotten to talk about this at all yet either. So last time I watched episodes 5 and 6. Of course, you guys get them separately, but I usually watch 2 at a time together. And so 5 was the one with the whole mystery with Kyoshi. You know, they thought that she like murdered that dude, which she kind of did, but was kind of for a good reason because he was a punk. You know?
This is the one where Sokka is Sherlock Holmes.
Yes, where Sokka is trying to be a detective. So Sokka is trying to be a detective. You're right. So that episode was enjoyable. One part I really liked about it, and actually some of you guys said that it's not your favorite. Some people, not to this extent, but kind of view it a little bit as like the one in the canyon where there's kind of like meh about it.
I like that episode well enough.
I like that episode too. But what I really liked about it, and I talk about this in the video for it, is the part where she basically uses her powers to break the ground apart and create that island.
Pretty sick.
That's pretty cool. And I think I like that concept too, because I kind of have a similar concept in one of my, like, my universe.
Yeah.
I mean, this is from years ago.
You didn't watch Avatar before?
This is pre-Avatar. No,
Maybe
I came up with this before Avatar did, okay? I came up with this before Avatar did, okay? Where in order to save the Land of Lies, the fairies get together and the dragon is trying to burn everything, and so they break the islands apart so that only the middle section where the dragon is gets burned and then everything else gets spared. So it's a very similar concept. Yeah. And so I thought it was really cool, guys, because it was my concept, actually. But anyway.
She's so humble.
Anyway, but what we really need to talk about is Toph.
Oh, yes.
I have not met Toph. I have not met Toph.
That you met Toph.
I met Toph.
And what do you think of Toph?
I adore Toph. I don't know how much we can talk about Toph since I've only seen her in one episode so far.
Sure.
And he's been very good at not spoiling anything for me. He's very good at that. But yeah, I mean, that was overall a great episode anyway. You know, I, as well as he, used to as well work with people with disabilities. So it's always cool to see that representation anyway. But just the whole idea of that just because she had a disability did not mean that she was any less capable. I mean, you know, people who have disabilities all have different degrees of how much help and support they need. But she was totally good on her own. So for her to like prove that and show that was really cool.
Toph's a badass. She's one of my favorite characters.
That's completely fair. Even if I've only seen her one time, that seems completely
No, she doesn't show up very much from this point on, actually. So.
We'll see about that. Anyway, so she was a very good character, and then I was just like, okay, cool, her dad's being accepting, and then 2 seconds later, I was just like, oh, her dad's a punk, because now he sent like those two dudes after us. So we got some new enemies, guys, but that's okay, because we acquired a Toph, and that seems very good. Since we can't have Boomy, we have Toph instead, so.
Christine, I have a quick question for you.
Yes.
So you're not even quite halfway through the show.
Yes.
But do you think you have a favorite character?
Besides Zuko, whom I adore so much.
So Zuko?
I don't know, he might be one of my favorites, so.
Yeah?
I don't know if favorite's the right word for him. I'm very invested in Zuko.
Well.
There's obviously a lot of side characters that I would say I adore. Like, I obviously love Boomy. I get overwhelmingly excited anytime
previous videos.
he comes on screen. But yeah, I don't know. Like.
So Zuko.
We can say Zuko for now.
I love Zuko too. So I think you were in for an absolute treat of an episode then.
That's right, because today, guys, the episode is called Zuko Alone.
Yes, this is the one where Zuko gets stuck in an elevator by himself.
I would watch that though. I would watch that episode if that's what's happening. Anyway, so I'm very excited. So he's obviously already seen all the episodes.
Many times.
But he had one, the reason that he's here, I guess I should tell him why you're here. The reason that he's here is because he had some favorite episodes that he had asked, could he watch them with me, just kind of, you know, get that experience with me. So he might not say a lot during the episode just because he's already seen them, and it might just literally be me yelling at the screen all the whole time in excitement, who knows. But then of course we'll talk about it afterward, but yeah. So last time we saw Zuko, he went off on his own. He separated from Iroh, which I was I guess it was like mixed emotions. It was like, oh man, because they're like a team and we're so used to them being together. And I was obviously a very good, supportive uncle, says wise things, really tries to help Zuko. But at the same time, then I was just like, well, maybe this is what Zuko needs. His whole purpose in life has been to find the Avatar and regain this honor from his father. And I think he's maybe starting to see that maybe that's not possible. So it's kind of almost, to me, if I recall, because, I've only seen the show once, so I might be not remembering details, but at this point I would say that Zuko's a little bit lost. He doesn't know what his...
very fair to say.
He doesn't know what his purpose is now. His sole purpose kind of isn't so much... I mean, maybe he is still focused, obviously. He's still talking about finding the Avatar.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think he's kind of at a point where he's just like, okay, well, what should I be doing with my life?
There's something of a crossroads.
Yeah. So we're just gonna hop right into that, and so strap on your elf ears, unless you're not as fortunate to have elf ears, and get ready to watch and listen to Avatar Season 2, Episode 7. And that's even a good number. I like the number 7, so the fact that there's just so many good reasons to like this episode.
We're gonna have a great time.
Zuko alone! Let's go! Of all the places you could have gone, that bridge seems like a bad decision. Like, what's our plan here? Zuko having morals, love to see it, love to see it.
You love to see it.
Yeah, definitely what I said before, where he just seems kind of like lost and directionless, like, what's he searching for? What's he,
Literally, in this case.
Yeah. Oh. Does that be a vision? Does that be a memory? Does that, you can't tell me? Does that be a mother? I don't know. Who's that?
Come on,
Intrigue.
Spider Snake Eyes.
Also, I'm not mad if this whole episode is about Zuko. So, even though I got really excited to meet Toph and see more of her, I'm also completely okay if this whole episode is about Zuko.
Good.
You throwing eggs at us, stranger?
No.
You see who did throw it?
No.
That's your favorite word?
Like I said, I
Egghead.
don't feel like I would mess with this guy with a sword with his face all jacked up, like, who's obviously been through some stuff. I don't know. I don't think I feel like I wouldn't mess with him. I feel like there are wiser decisions to make, but...
Good line, Zuko.
I like it.
Thanks for your contribution. The army appreciates your support.
Thanks for not ratting me out. I'll take you to my house and
Now Zuko's made a friend.
Come on, I owe you.
Ostrich horse.
Oh, no, indeed.
Do they literally just call them, like, the combo of the animal? I love that. I don't know if I've ever really paid attention.
What else would you call it?
Well, it could be its own thing. I don't know. Oh, it's pig sheep? Pig sheep!
Big sheep, dude.
I don't even tell me the pig sheep.
When are you getting your plushies, huh?
Pig sheep. Guys, if anybody doesn't know yet, I love sheep. It's a pig sheep. My boyfriend Isaac had a dream about donkey sheep the other day, and now I get to have pig sheep?
Yeah.
This is the highlight of the whole episode.
All your dreams are coming
The
true.
highlight of the whole episode.
No one can ever sneak up on us.
No kidding.
You a friend of Lee's?
I don't know how I feel about that.
This guy just stood up to the soldiers.
Gonsu could use some help on the barn. Why don't you two work for a while, and then we'll eat.
I also like, too, I know I've said this, but I like that Zuko's starting to get a little bit of different perspective. Well, he's getting actually perspective on quite a few things. He's gotten perspective on the Fire Nation, like, itself, like, how people view them, how, like, their armies can be harmful to people. This one's interesting to me because it's not Fire Nation soldiers that are being punks. It's Earth soldiers, but there's still kind of that little insight there as to how, like, I don't know, like the war affects people, or how like soldiers doing these nefarious things are affecting people. And he's also gotten to kind of experience some different families at this point. You know,
True.
he grew up as a prince. he grew up very rich and privileged, and now he's gotten to kind of experience some different ways of living and things like that. So I think that that's also probably good for him, just to get a bunch of different...
Now, he stole from the last family that took him in, though.
He did, yes. And that's also what makes Zuko a good character, though. He's, like Aang, is not without fault or without flaw. So yeah, but I still think it's very interesting that he's kind of getting to experience all these different things, and how's he going to react to them, you know? So.
How'd you get that scar?
Oh Lord, Shy! Oh no, he's already beat up. So
A man's past is his business.
I like this family. That's very, yeah, they're pretty cool, respectful. Is this a flashback?
Here we go.
Flashback, guys. So, I love this duck turtle. What is this?
Hey Mom, wanna see how Azula feeds turtle ducks?
I knew it was his mom.
Why would you do that?
Azula?
Azula's such a
Azula's a
punk.
jerk.
She's such a punk. I love her friend though. I forget what her name is, but the...
Tylee.
Oh, okay, and that's right, we got
Can you make Zuko play with us?
the other friend
We
here.
need equal teams to play a game.
I am not cartwheeling.
Try to knock the apple off the other person's head, like this.
Oh dear. She's not amused. Oh, here.
Aw, they're so...
Blossoming a romance. He has saved her. So.
Ba Sing Se must be something to behold. I hope you all may see it someday. If we don't burn it to the ground first.
Until then, enjoy
Iroh being a punk. I mean, although, I don't know if I should say that. I mean, war is war. You know?
War is war.
War is war. So, but again, it's interesting to get all those different perspectives. We really like Iroh.
I love Iroh. He's my favorite character.
But we have to remember that he was also in the war, fighting for the Fire Nation, who right now we see as the enemy.
Mm-hmm.
So, guys, it's like a lot of interesting perspectives. I'm very curious what happened. We don't know at this point, we don't know what happened to Zuko's mom, do we?
No.
Okay. All right. That's all you need to say. It's like, I don't think we know what happened with that.
A new friend. She wears the latest fashion for Earth Kingdom girls.
I bet
If
she
Uncle
hates
doesn't make it back
that.
from war, then Dad would be...
How would you like it if Cousin Lu 10 wanted Dad to die?
I still think our dad would make a much better Fire Lord than his royal tea-loving kookiness.
Wait, is Iroh supposed to be the Fire Lord?
Iroh is the older brother.
He's the older. Oh, that's true. They are brothers. I don't think I ever picked up on that he would have been the king, not the king, the Fire Lord. I don't think I've ever picked up on that before. So, yeah.
Not just uncle in a sort of like friendly way, but his actual uncle.
No, I mean that makes sense. Like, duh. Obviously, they would have to be brothers, but I guess I don't know. It's just never.
Well, you don't typically think of that, and,
Yeah.
and certainly we'll see more about this.
Yeah. So that never crossed my mind. So that's interesting. Oh boy. Child.
Can't blame him. This is the coolest thing that's ever happened.
I mean, true, but this child's
You're holding them all wrong.
too curious.
They're not. They're just two different parts of the same
The
whole.
symbolism there.
Okay. I like that. Yes, thank you for pointing that out. That's a good, yeah, little parallel there.
Here.
What? Why is there so many pig varieties?
Meals.
Oh boy.
What do you think they
Punks have arrived.
Trouble.
Good guess.
What do you
Release the pig sheep! Let them attack!
Thought someone ought to tell you your son's battalion got captured with their last group of Earth Kingdom prisoners.
Why are you guys such a bunch of
Fire
punks?
Nation uniforms and put them on the front line.
You watch your mouth.
Why bother rooting around in the mud with these pigs?
More flashback! I like
When my dad goes, will you stay?
No. I need to move on.
Aw.
Here.
I like
I
this
want you to have
parallel that
this.
we're seeing
Read the
though
inscription.
with
Made
this
in
family
Earth
and how what he's
Kingdom.
remembering.
The other one.
Never give up without a fight.
Aw, look at Zuko having a heart and learning stuff. So-
Ha ha!
You waste all your time playing with knives. You're not even good.
Put an apple on your head and we'll find out how good I am.
He is. He found out his son died and he just fell apart. A real general would stay and burn Ba Sing Se to the ground, not lose the battle and come
Do
home.
you think she
crying.
even has human
I don't know what you
emotions?
should do.
Is she human?
Probably just sad
Very
as when the
adorable.
kid is gone. Forever.
Your father has requested an audience with Fire Lord Azulan. Best clothes. Hurry up.
Can't you just call him grandfather? He's not exactly the powerful Fire Lord he used to be. Someone will probably end up taking his place soon.
Young lady, not another word. What is wrong with that child?
Thank you. Yes, that's a good question.
Sozin managed to win the Battle of Han Tui. She's a true prodigy.
Okay, and that's dad, right? That's mom and dad?
Yes.
Yes. So that's the idiot that kicked Zuko out
Correct.
in the first place.
And burned
being-
his face, yes.
Being obviously quite pleased to see his daughter's skills. Also, I still feel like she gets her narcissism from him. Like, I don't know a lot about him yet. But mom seems very sweet. And Zuko
does
seems
seem very
to take more after her.
I think you'd be correct.
Whereas
Seems
Azula
like-
seems to take after Punk Father.
It's a very good observation.
So, I'm not saying a lot right now, I'm just kind of like observing, but our family dynamic here. Of course, that...
I'd like to demonstrate what I've been learning.
Oh. Do we just not like this child? What's your problem? It's okay. He's very skilled in other ways.
I failed.
No, I loved watching you. That's who you are,
Aw,
Zuko.
she's a good
Someone who keeps
mom.
fighting even though it's hard.
Prince Ozai, why are you wasting my time with this pump? Just tell me what you want. Everyone else go.
Okay, so who's the old guy again? I'm trying to pay
That's
attention.
Azula, grandfather.
It's their grandfather, right? Okay, alright.
What are you...
Father, you must have realized, as I have, that with Lu Ten gone, Iroh's bloodline has ended. After his
So he has no
son's
heirs.
death,
Okay, that makes
my
sense.
brother abandoned the siege at Ba Sing Se.
I think Iroh has suffered enough. But you... your punishment has scarcely begun.
Okay, so that didn't go how we thought it might. So the question still being, how is he on the throne? How is this guy on the throne, guys? Okay, because that didn't go how he wanted it to go.
Dad's
So
trying to kill you. Really, he is.
I sense
Haha,
more betrayal coming. So
Fine, don't believe me. But I heard everything. Grandfather said Dad's punishment should fit his crime. You must know the pain of losing a firstborn son by sacrificing your own.
Liar.
oh
Wow. Think about that for a moment.
yeah.
What a tremendous perspective that gives us on the Fire Nation and just how much they value honor. That for just suggesting, for taking advantage of a man losing his son and trying to subvert the line of succession,
Yeah.
that your father would order you to kill your own son.
Yeah.
His blood.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And it really gives more perspective, I think, on Zuko.
On
as
Zuko.
well. And
Because of how heavily they take honor, is that what you're saying?
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
it's a level that we can't really comprehend,
Yeah.
and this is just the perfect highlight for it.
Yeah.
It's so awful, and it's so awful.
Yeah. That's a good point. So
Shall we continue?
yes, we shall.
What is going on here?
I don't know.
It's time for a talk.
Okay. Yeah. You should have done more than talk with that child like a long time ago.
Always lies.
Azula always lies.
You have to.
Well, that was why I was curious too. Like, was she being truthful with that story or not? Because we know that Azula is also not super trustworthy.
It's true.
But at the same time, if it is, like, I do like what you're saying. Like, you know, they do uphold honor really highly, and we've seen that with Zuko.
It's Lee. The thugs from town came back as soon as Gonsu. Lee pulled a knife on them. I don't even know where he got a knife. Then they took him away. They told me if Lee's old enough to fight.
Oh no.
He's old enough to join the army. I know we barely know you, but
I'll get your son back.
It's a sense of responsibility.
Hmm?
Oh, he's a sense of responsibility.
Yeah.
Hey, there he is. I told you he'd come.
Let the kid
He looks
go.
better now that the hair's grown out of it. Yeah, you're right. I mean, he does. Zuko's not used to really being responsible for another person either, is he?
That's yeah.
Not in like
yes.
a personal.
As a young man, people have mostly been responsible for him up until this point, by giving him the knife.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just the right thing to do to go back for the kid who's been tormented, bullied. I mean, just by these cruel soldiers.
Yeah.
But now he has a personal stake in it.
Now he's a personal, yeah.
Almost,
Yeah. Yeah. Look at all this growth we have going on with Zuko. Learning some lessons.
You are. You're not soldiers. You're bullies.
Oh, I think that was kind of like a parallel to his dad, even.
Oh, yes.
You know?
Yes, definitely. The flashbacks are very relevant to what's happening to him now in the present.
Definitely a parallel there.
Very nice.
Got one down? Alright.
Got all three of them without even pulling his swords out.
Right? Oh, we still got this guy, but...
It's the boss fight.
Double hammers versus double swords. I like it. Oh, and they're not going to even know that he is fire.
Yeah, firebend.
Yeah.
Left! It's not a fist fight. He's got a left sword, don't he?
What? I like that he has a skill that's not firebending, though. You know, I think it even kind of goes along a little bit with what his mom. What was that? His mom that just said that. I've been trying to pay attention, but I'm just like really trying to take a lot of details in. That he keeps fighting even though it's hard, and so I kind of like that he has another skill to use. But yeah, you're right. I feel like I don't know if he displayed firepower. That could be a bad thing?
That would be a very.
Very bad thing. Even though he's obviously trying to save this kid, that could really go a couple different ways. So. Ugh.
Remember this, Zuko. No matter how things may seem to change, never forget who you are.
Okay, yep, we're going for it! Oh no. Just be happy you saved your kid. Don't be mad that he's fired. Don't be mad.
My name is Zuko, son of Ursa and Fire Lord Ozai. Prince of the Fire
we're just gonna
Nation
go all the way
and
for
heir to
it.
the throne. It's yours. You should have it.
No, I hate you.
Oh man, that's rough.
Mom?
Jeez, that's rough though. Like he just saved them, but the hatred goes that deep for everything the Fire Nation has done.
Where's Mom?
No one knows. Oh, and last night, Grandpa passed away.
Want my knife back now.
Who's going to make me? Mom?
Where
Cruelty
is she?
is the theme of the episode.
Yeah.
Second son.
Alright. So the question is, who killed Grandpa? Somebody killed Grandpa, right? Like, that's what I'm getting, maybe? I don't know. But, oh, man. Yeah, Zuko, that's the face you should make. He's the only one making the right face about this decision. Wow, Well, let's talk about that, shall we? Let's talk about that.
Gets me a little bit.
Oh, man. Okay, so that was Avatar Season 2.
Yeah.
Episode 7. A lot happened. I know I didn't say quite as much as usual, but I was really trying to, like, take everything in, guys. So, wow. A lot happened. What do we want to... What do we want to talk about?
What are your initial thoughts
with
there
all that?
Zuko's little adventure on his own.
Yeah, first of all,
episode with just him in it as well. I really like that.
It was just him. I really like that. So, well, my first question is, where did Mom go? Okay, but also I'm getting a vibe that somebody killed Grandpa.
It's fair to say he was old, but
seemed
like a bit of a.
But why did Mom have to leave? My first thought was just like, well, geez, did she kill Grandpa to prevent, Ozai from being forced to kill Zuko? Because she's over there saying everything I've done is to save you because I love you and to protect you and everything. So I'm very curious why Mom left, if there's any connection there. So you've got that going on.
Yes, when they're feeding the turtle ducks in the beginning, she says something like a mother would do anything to protect
a mother
her
would
babies.
do anything, yeah. So I'm curious if hopefully we'll find out more about that. So that was good, just to see more of Zuko with his family. I mean, Zuko really was. I've always told you, Zuko's he's good. He's a good kid. Okay, he grew up a good kid. Like he's had all this horrible stuff happen to him, and again, like the whole message of just like how important honor is to them. So everything that we've seen Zuko doing has been because that's just so ingrained to him as to how important that is, and not to justify any of his bad actions, but it makes sense. Like that's just so important. Yeah.
You were very right to say that Zuko is his mother's son, and Azula
is definitely her father's daughter,
girl,
which
yes.
I figured that out in like 2 seconds of knowing her. I'm like, So
here's what's important to think about is that it was being true to his mother is what's led to Zuko being in this circumstance in the first place.
Yeah.
When he spoke out at the general's meeting.
Yeah.
That was his mother coming out of him, I think. Not his father, certainly.
Certainly not, yeah.
And going back and trying to save the boy.
I was going to say, remembering his mother just now in this episode is what made him feel that connection to the boy and want to save him and want to help that family.
Yes.
Even the whole, parallel where, Iroh finds out that his son is dead and him having that memory and thinking, how that family might be feeling and everything.
Yeah.
So a lot of good parallels for sure between learning about his past, which was very good,
yes,
which is very good, and what's going on with him presently. I liked getting to see Zuko make some good choices in this one.
Mm-hmm. Be punished for them.
I was about to say, even though they didn't end up well.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
It's the worst.
That's pretty powerful, just how much damage the Fire Nation has done and how much, hatred has been instilled for them, for that he was kind to this family, he protected, he was kind to the boy, he went back to save the boy when he did not have to. I mean, obviously he felt responsible, but he still didn't have to do that.
Let's not forget what Zuko got up to in the first season. He attacked the South Pole.
Yeah.
And Kyoshi Island, remember? He set fire to the houses there, so he bears responsibility as well.
Yeah.
But again, it's a matter of the new perspective he's gaining.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I think that's kind of a lot of what the episode is about. Is a lot of good different perspectives on everything.
That's why I love it. I love this episode.
Yeah,
I love this episode.
It's a very solid episode.
I also like that it's basically a western in Avatar, which he's the mysterious stranger who rides into town. But he's also the outlaw.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Yeah.
So.
True.
And I guess my last thought on it is that Zuko has no home, and this episode just kind of sends the message home that he couldn't stay with this family.
Right.
He couldn't have a family without having it built on top of lies, basically.
Yeah. I did kind of like that he did own it, and he did say, "This is who I am." And he didn't just kind of make something up. I actually kind of like that, even though it didn't work out great for him.
Sort of,
but
again, being, I guess, true to his mother in honesty, but then he is the prince, and he has had his birthright taken from him.
Yeah.
And he has had his home taken from him.
Yeah.
And again, his motivation couldn't be clearer at the end of this episode that he has to capture the Avatar.
Yeah.
To go home again. and how important that is to him.
Which is a real bummer because we don't want that to happen, guys. So but yeah, great episode on Zuko. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. And I will be jumping into episode 8, and you guys will probably see that tomorrow. So on that note, thank you for
everyone.
watching with us, and I will see you next time.
Take
Bye.
care.